Jr. says a request for a pardon is not imminent. Instead, he says the focus is on appeals. The city of Pittsburgh says that it is ready to handle all of the problems associated with moving the huge crowds expected to descend on the downtown area to witness the annual Zambelli fireworks display at 9:30 p.m. Mayor Luke Ravenstahl says that planners are aware that the situation is going to be worse with Point State Park closed for renovation. He is asking everyone to just take their time.
There certainly will be increased traffic and probably in many cases traffic jams. So we just ask people to be patient and understand that we're doing everything we can from the police department, the public works department, etc.
Ravenstahl is asking everyone to use public transportation wherever possible to cut down on the mammoth traffic jams that have occurred in past years. In addition to Station Square, people can view the fireworks at the North Shore Riverfront Park, the West End Overlook, and Mount Washington. In sports news, after a 6-2 win last night, the Pirates take on the Milwaukee Brewers again this afternoon at 4:05 at PNC Park. Need great-looking documents? At Office Depot, you'll find Xerox certified print specialists to make sure your job is done right, guaranteed. Stop by an Office Depot store or visit them online 24/7. Office Depot, taking care of business. The Weather Watch 4 forecast is next. I'm Kristen Bishop, AM News Talk 1360.
Snogging means kissing, and I've never been told anything otherwise. So, yes, I would consider that I am a good snogger, as you might put it.
Her Match.com username is CuteBritChick, and you can email her right now. Go ahead, it's okay to look, whether it's Cute Brit Chick or someone else. We're so confident you'll find someone special in 6 months that if you don't, we'll give you 6 months free. It's our guarantee to you, and it's only at the all-new Match.com. See site for details.
Hi, what can I get you, sir?
I'll have a tall cappuccino with a touch of cinnamon and some peace of mind, please.
You got it.
What if you could buy peace of mind? Well, you can with Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury certified pre-owned vehicles because we notice everything. Everyone must pass a 115-point inspection. You even get a vehicle history report, and it's all backed by our 6-year, 75,000-mile warranty coverage. Now that's peace of mind.
Oh, and I'll have some confidence, too.
See your dealer for limited warranty coverage details or visit FordCPO.com.
Talk radio for Pittsburgh's other 50%.
Liberals versus conservatives are not more government versus less government. It's really where you want government to be. Conservatives want government in women's uteruses. They want government censorship in certain cases. They want government regulation in certain areas, but not others. Liberals want government as a safety net for the least among us.
Alan Combs, weeknights from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the home of the revolution of talk radio, Pittsburgh's AM News Talk 1360. AM News Talk 1360, Weather Watch 4.
For this Independence Day, expect isolated AM showers, scattered showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon, possibly becoming severe. Today's high temperature climbs to 83. Now for tonight, we'll see showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rain is likely before the morning. Tonight's low temperature falls to 64. I'm Channel 4 Action News meteorologist Demetrius Ivory with your Weather Watch 4 update on AM News Talk 1360.
And currently cloudy. What's that? And 70.
Need great-looking documents? At Office Depot, you'll find Xerox certified print specialists making sure the job is done right. Guaranteed. Stop by Office Depot or visit online. Office Depot, taking care of business.
The Lone Liberal. A fiery phone and a voice of might, a cloud of dust, and a hearty...
Spare me the lecture!
The Lone Liberal, Lynn Cullen.
Happy 4th to you. And
Independence Day.
Independence Day. That's Joanne Rogers. And Kid Ayers is putting lotion on her nose.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. You all set?
Well, pretty much. Here we go.
Okay, there we go. So here we are. It's another holiday, and it's another girlfriend show. Introducing my girlfriends again, Joanne Rogers and Kit Ayers.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Joanne. Joanne said that she was coming out of a movie last night, and someone said
somebody told
She
me they
loves-
loved the Girlfriend's Day. She loved the Girlfriend's Day, and she said, "I'd love to know what Kit looks like."
Well, I'm scared
Well-
to ask, but what did you say?
So what did you say?
I said, "Well, she's very pretty,
Yes.
and the most important thing about her is that she cares about people so
I
much."
knew it was going to be some sappy thing like that. That's not what the woman asked. She said, "What does she
What does she
look
look
like?"
Well, you know
You know
what? That always shines through.
Well, thank you, Joanne.
You're welcome. And I said she's funny and cute.
Well, thanks.
You say she's got a curvaceous figure?
Oh, I forgot to tell you that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
We can see that.
She's looking
today.
good for a woman of advanced age.
Yes.
Advancing age.
Yeah,
Oh,
almost
you're such
50.
kids.
Yeah.
You're such kids.
It is all relative.
It
I
is
know.
indeed.
I know.
It is indeed.
Well, so it is the 4th of July. I actually isn't that disgusting? I was trying to get that. What is that?
I don't know. I
Well,
thought
get
it
it
might
off.
be a dead bug.
No, I think
Okay.
this desk, if we were to do a germ
crime.
count, if we were to like stick
It's a fuzzy. Oh, you know what? It's a fuzzy from this disgusting microphone. That's
that,
what it is.
just imagine, like if we could get, how would you do it? That you could, like a petri dish. We would see what's growing on here.
I think
What
we'd be
manner of-
horrified.
oh no!
I think
it would
we'd
just
be horrified.
I would never come in here again. I think one of the reasons I really don't get sick as much as I used to is because my immune system has just it's like on steroids
Yes.
because of this place.
It's had
Yes.
a very generous offering.
Yeah.
You know, my mother used to say, "You have to eat a peck of dirt before you die."
What did she mean by that? Did she mean before you die you have to eat a
Eat
peck
a
of
peck
dirt?
of dirt,
Or
or
did-
throughout your life, you have to eat a peck of dirt.
Or did she mean if you eat a peck of, you'd have to, in
You-
order to have dirt kill you, you'd have to eat a peck of it? Is that what she meant?
I don't
Oh,
know. I never
what?
questioned the meaning of
Right.
it. I
I've
just
been
thought
told
it
that,
meant
too.
go ahead and eat dirt.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. It was like
Yeah.
a little dirt's not going to kill you.
Exactly.
You'd have to eat a peck of dirt before.
Yes.
Everybody's got to eat a peck of dirt before they die.
Right,
So.
Well, I actually heard of a study. I don't know. Have you heard of the 5-second rule?
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Kim
Sure
always.
haven't.
Okay, what is it?
Well, that's because I have boys.
What do you think the 5-second rule
if
is?
something falls on the floor, as long as you pick it up and eat it within 5 seconds, it wasn't really contaminated by whatever.
I love it.
It's right.
love
That's the
it.
5-second rule. And what happened is some students at some college decided to test it. And so they
would.
They
They would.
I can't remember, Skittles and some other stuff, and they brought it into the cafeteria, and they dropped these things on the floor, and they let some sit for 5 seconds before they grabbed them. They let some sit for 10, 20, 30, all the way up to, I guess, 5 minutes or something. And then they put them under microscopes or whatever and saw how much bacteria was on them. And it is true.
It's true.
Is that right?
5 seconds, you're clear.
I'll go with
as a matter of
that.
fact, they were clear up to 30 seconds. It was after 30 seconds they started seeing whatever was on the floor somehow contaminating. And after a minute, don't touch it.
Yes.
So
Well,
the
how about
5,
that?
it's true.
It's true.
Well, I'm really not much of a worrier about germs.
Well,
never
I'm not,
have been.
I never have been either. And I remember, when you have your first baby,
Yeah.
there's oh my God, the pacifier dropped! And you boil it in water. You put 20 tons of.
I would pick it
peroxide
right up off the floor and put it.
Well, you got to wipe the dog hair off first, then you plug
Wipe
up
the
the
dog
baby.
hair off and plug it right back in. That's right.
Yeah.
I know how the kids.
Isn't it wonderful?
And all our children survived.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
And probably their immune systems were.
We're healthier for it.
What do you mean? Look at this headline.
What is it?
Who's the richest man in the world?
Oh, Slim. Mr. Slim.
Mr.
Mr.
Slim.
Slim.
Who's that?
He's,
You are correct.
He's in Mexico. He lives in
This
Mexico
Mexican
City.
guy is.
His name is Slim?
His name is Slim, and he's not slim.
Hey, his name is Carlos Slim.
Yes.
Joanne, how do you know this?
Oh, well, he called and told me that he had
Finally surpassed Bill Gates.
No, it isn't right. I'm making it up.
I completely believed you.
He's just making money hand over fist. 3 months ago, he slipped past Warren Buffett to take second place. And I guess just the other day, he slipped by Gates.
The article that I read about it had a picture of Bill Gates, and he was just looking so sad.
Well, what does Slim do?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Slim is
telecom tycoon.
Telephoned.
Yeah, well, it's
a telephone thing. You know, wireless.
Okay, like cell phones.
Owns the largest one in the South America, I think it is.
But how does that beat Gates?
I don't know. I couldn't, maybe he must charge a lot for his phones.
Well, here's one thing. Gates keeps giving his money away.
Yes,
as
he
Buffett,
does. And that's what I thought.
Senor Slim is keeping his.
Yes, we need to get on to Senor Slim.
Yeah, and tell him with money like that, he should start saving it. I mean,
giving it away.
Giving it away.
Giving it away.
Okay. Well, ladies. Oh, here. I'm going to give you a test. This is the test given to become a citizen of the United States.
Oh, we'll embarrass ourselves.
Oh, no, you won't. I'll skip the really ridiculous ones.
All right.
I think. There aren't that many?
There's like 20. They're all pretty
Okay,
easy. I think
all right.
I missed one.
Okay, shall we go one to each one?
No, because I work better in a group situation.
You work better looking over Joanne's shoulder.
We're going to be a team.
That's right.
Here we go. How many stripes are there on the U.S. flag?
13.
That's correct. Pay no attention to that flag on the wall. Yeah, I would think 13.
Yeah, is that not true?
Yes, yes.
Who's the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court?
Roberts.
Oh, yeah, Roberts.
That's why we're a good team.
I'm still thinking about the flag over here. I'm looking at the flag.
Okay.
I'm afraid she's going to ask about stars.
In what year was the Constitution written?
Ooh.
Oh, I can give you numbers. I'm sorry, this is multiple choice.
Oh, okay.
1776, 1787, 1876, 1812.
1787.
Correct.
Yes.
And I'm not even, I'm taking the test with you. But
okay.
That's absolutely correct. Which of these is guaranteed by the First Amendment? Freedom of the press, right to bear arms, right to happiness, right to trial by jury.
Right to trial by jury.
Oh, I thought it was freedom of the press.
No. It's freedom of the press. Right to bear arms.
I must be feeling guilty about something.
Yes.
Right to bear arms is the Second Amendment, right? The right to happiness does not exist in the Constitution.
No, it doesn't.
And right to trial by jury is, I don't know.
May not be such a thing. There may not be.
No, there is. It's one of the. I have it right here, the United States Constitution. I hold it in my hand.
Good Lord.
It looks like a little Bible.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
It is.
And it's embossed with your initials.
I can't believe you found that like that.
Well, I made a point of bringing it today because I thought I would actually read the Declaration of Independence.
That's very nice.
When's the last time you read it?
A long time.
I don't know that I ever did all the way through.
It's been a long
I'm
time.
sure you did. Yes, yeah. We used to have to read it in school all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, back to our tests. I'm not even going to do the multiple choice on a lot of these. How many Supreme Court justices are there?
I honestly have no idea.
Well, what do you mean?
7.
Sorry.
7, 8.
No.
Listen to me.
Like, I would
Think
say
of
a
all
dozen.
5 to 4.
Kids.
9.
Yes, but now stop and think about it. Think of all the decisions.
5, 4.
Oh, okay.
5, 4 decisions.
Oh, well, that's a math problem.
Oh, my
I don't think we
God.
should do this anymore. People are going to say, idiots, turn off the radio.
What are the first 10 amendments of the Constitution called? I will give you the 4 answers they give you here.
Okay.
The preamble, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, or Lewis Scooter Libby.
I'm going to go with the bill rather than the scooter.
Bill of Rights. Well, sure.
Oh, that's
All
Do they
right.
really have Scooter Libby?
Yes, they do.
So funny.
Oh, Oh, that's great.
I can't believe they did that. Is this the Immigration and Naturalization Service test? Is this like a legitimate test? Oh, you don't think it's a legitimate test?
It can't be if they put Libby's name in.
The questions that the to take to
Libby.
become a citizen, the questions are usually selected from a list of 100 sample questions. The questions of the test below are as asked on the official United States INS website.
Just the.
Oh, there's no way the
multiple
official
choice.
INS website includes that dig about Scooter Libby.
Well, we can check it out.
Those multiple choice answers are not part of it, but the others may be.
Oh, so the questions
could
might be without the multiple choice. Yeah.
No, I think you're incorrect. Which of the following amendments to the Constitution does not address or guarantee voting rights? The 19th, the 24th, the 15th, and the 7th.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I
have no
agree.
idea.
I don't either. Voting rights. The 19th
I like
does.
that, oh, for heaven's sake.
Doesn't the 19th, the 15th, and I'd say the 7th. I'm probably incorrect. Am I right?
I believe
Does
you're
it
correct
give
on
the
that.
answers someplace?
Yeah, where are the answers?
I stapled the
would've
answers
gone
to the
to
back of
those
that.
meetings.
So
Huh?
the front half is the questionnaire, and the second half's the answers, including my one I got wrong.
You got one wrong? Eight. 7. Yeah. I was right.
Good for you, Adeline.
Good.
Hey. What are the 13 original states? You got to be kidding me.
That was the one I missed.
Well, how could you miss it? Here's the multiple choice. Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Zealand, Massachusetts. Okay. We'll strike
Let's
that
cross
one.
that one
was
off.
on. Okay, let's try the next one. Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Rhode Island, Maryland.
That sounds
That
pretty good.
sounds good.
We'll keep that one in.
All right.
Then we move on to Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Kentucky, Virginia.
No.
Kentucky.
No
I don't
what?
think Kentucky.
Kentucky wouldn't be there.
All right. I'm going on to the last.
Okay.
Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Rhode Island, Maryland, Washington, D.C. No.
No.
Washington,
So-
D.C.
So it's the
B.
second one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I'm that one I know.
Yes, because
All right. What do the stripes on the flag mean? 1, the cabinet. What?
No,
1
the
for each state in the
colonies.
union. They represent the 13 original states.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the introduction to the Constitution called? Da-da.
Preamble.
Preamble. How many changes or amendments are there to the Constitution?
Ooh, I do not know.
I have no idea.
9, 10, 13, or 27? 27.
Thank you. What is the 27th?
I don't know. Oh, it'd be maybe that a president can't serve more than...
Oh, okay.
Would it be the...
2 terms.
Look it up in your little book.
Hey!
Who gave you that little book? It's really nice.
I got this at... I'll think about that.
Okay.
I have to take a break, don't I? Am I okay? I can't find the dang Constitution. I see the Articles of Confederation. They have everything in here. What am I looking for? Oh, amendments.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just the very last one.
Well, now I have to know my Roman numerals. It was in 1992.
XXVII.
Yeah, it's 27. No law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of representatives shall have intervened.
It's about pay raises?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Well, they put that in the Constitution?
That seems a little odd, doesn't it?
Yes. That seems like a waste.
And you know what the one before?
because
You know what
they're
the one
gonna do it
before
anyway.
it is?
What?
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 It's changing the voting age to 18,
Oh.
and that was 1971.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't
Okay.
think about that one.
You see how little we know?
And
And what
the
year was-
70s went by me in a blur.
You know, the 70s, I was absent too.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking me the other day, they were talking about music. I'm saying, I don't know anything that happened in the 70s.
No, I don't either.
Boston?
Boston?
Disco?
No.
That was all 70s.
I sat it out. I didn't. I was.
Were you married?
I was married.
Oh, okay.
And living on a pig farm.
Well, you have a good excuse.
Thank you.
The pigs were taking all of your time.
That's true. I was not involved in popular culture at all. I don't remember.
Pet rocks? You didn't do pet rocks?
No. I only remember watching the Watergate hearings.
Mood
I don't
rings?
remember. I think I did have a mood ring.
Okay.
All right, it's the girlfriend show when we just blabber like this. 412-333-1360 is the phone number, and I say that just because
you might want to call in.
Well, I don't know. When my brain is sort of like on automatic pilot and there's dead air, I say it.
Uh-oh,
there
it's
she goes.
begun.
That's
it
Joanne.
has started.
Joanne has started.
Note the time, 9:22.
9:22, and she's already...
Let the snorts begin.
Let the snorts begin. I'm Lynn Cullen along with my friends, Joanne Rogers and Kit. Bodacious Kit Ayers. In her purple, incredibly tight...
It's blue. This is not purple.
Blue, electric blue.
Cornflower blue.
Cornflower blue.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Right.
See, now you give the phone number, and next thing you know, someone calls in. I'm Lynn Cullen. I've said that too. This is AM News Talk 1360.
Again.
The thing that we've learned from this quiz that we're really blown away by is that there was a constitutional amendment passed recently, 91, and we have no recollection of it.
Absolutely none.
Do you? I mean, those are usually, that's something where, what I've decided, if it's 91, maybe it's something, the Republicans take the Congress and this is their, all right. No, it wouldn't have been before then.
I don't think they took the Congress till 92.
92, yeah, you're right, or 94.
Yeah, the first 2 years, I think Bill had a Democratic House
Congress.
and Senate.
Well, so what? I mean, obviously, there must have been an outcry.
There must have
when
been.
when they gave themselves a big
You don't
raise.
think it was
but why don't we remember that then that resulted in a constitutional amendment? It just seems odd as can be.
Yes.
Because it's not easy to pass a constitutional amendment.
Right.
I mean, all the state legislatures have to get involved.
And I remember when Bush was talking about legislation about
which Bush?
This one
about marriage, gay marriage.
Yes. And everybody said no.
Who's going to disagree with this amendment, though? That you shouldn't be able to vote yourself a raise.
That's right.
You jerks.
That's right.
Until after you've been, gay marriage is a lot more.
But
wait a minute, Matt.
That earned a guffaw.
What are you roaring about in there?
The 27th Amendment to the Constitution concerning pay raises was originally submitted 202 years prior to its passage.
You are kidding. And they didn't get
Its initial submission was in 1789.
And it took that long? Maybe the last state or finally a state or two did it. And, that's too funny. But still, that's a story we should... how do I not know this? It's unbelievable. Let's talk to Darwin.
Oh, we have to find out things. Okay.
Darwin, hi.
One is against stereotypes, and the other way is the best way to memorize the First Amendment. The stereotypes are that President Nixon, the great conservative in trouble, voted for the 18-year-old amendment that they could vote. And President Kennedy, our great liberal, voted against it. That's the first.
Okay.
The second one is, may I sing it? Because that's the way to memorize it.
You got it. Go ahead.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercises thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances And that comes from the Ballad for Americans, which I sang as a 6-year-old.
Bravo! Bravo!
Remember Paul Robeson?
Yes.
Great patriot. Especially since he went to Russia and he realized how bad it was in those days, Soviet Union.
Yeah. So, how wonderful.
That's marvelous.
Well, can you do the whole thing that way?
No, just the First Amendment. I was in
just the First
the
Amendment.
Ballad for Americans. They sang, they went through American history. And,
but that's amazing
like
that has
nobody
stayed with
was
you.
Anybody believed it. Anybody was everybody, they doubted it, etc. And then about three-cornered hats and all that stuff.
Oh, that's just great.
Well,
I love that.
Thank you for that.
Well, keep it up. We need to keep our Constitution in our pockets like Senator Byrd and probably you too, Lynn.
Yes, I've got it right here.
Here,
Thank you.
here.
Long live liberalism and the Statue of Liberty.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I think you should tell us all how to buy one of those because I'd love to have one. Do you remember where you got it? You still don't.
I can.
This is a tiny little book.
I'm gonna.
that
Yes,
you can
I
put
do.
in your pocket very easily.
Margie Allen Fine Stationery, Walnut Street.
Okay, thank you.
Very good.
Thanks.
Matter of fact, they gave it to me as a gift. I don't know why I was blanking on that. Margie Allen Fine Stationery on Walnut Street.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
It's a wonderful little gift, isn't it?
It is.
And you can have it. All right, are we... oh, you know what? What do you want to do, the test, or shall I bore you silly with the Declaration of Independence?
Oh, Boris, silly.
Really?
Go for it. Yeah.
I'd love to hear.
Anything to
Especially
avoid the
after
test.
that
That rendition?
that musical interlude. Yeah.
Okay.
It would be nice.
Here we go. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. I thought it was inalienable.
I thought it was too.
Maybe this has it wrong. That among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable of annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. Good God.
He's laying it out there.
Keep going.
Well, heck, it goes on forever. I better take a break and we'll come back to this litany of complaints.
Very good. Because
from those uppity colonists.
I just wish everyone could see you doing this because you're just wonderful. All the passion is there.
Well, I'm trying to understand it as I'm reading it.
It's
you know,
wonderful.
I'm willing to bet a lot of people listening to this are thinking, "What?
What is
they
she
can't
saying?
follow. They can't follow the
Yeah.
sentences because they're long and
They
They lost me on one, but I can see. It's funny, like one of these complaints is that he was causing them to meet in places that were difficult to get to, where they wouldn't be
Yes.
anywhere near their own records that they needed, and he was just trying to wear them down.
Yeah.
That jerk,
You know, I
George.
wonder. I think it's just a terribly long time since I've heard this part of it.
Yes.
I don't think I ever did. That's what I said to you. You think you read it? I don't know that I did. Okay, we're going to take a break and get back to this extraordinarily long Declaration of Independence. All right, we're back to the Declaration of Independence, which we're finding rather interesting, to say the least. And I was just saying that when each of these guys put their name on that thing, they were putting their necks in a noose.
They were.
How could they think that they could... How could they think they could beat the big, huge, most powerful
It's awesome.
nation on earth?
It really is awesome.
But you think of other little upstart people who have taken on the biggest nation on earth, namely us, and have humiliated us. The Vietnamese did it.
They didn't take us on directly in that way, though. I mean, I think for me what's poignant about that is it's not just them resisting a completely different culture, but they're resisting the culture they came from. They're resisting.
That's right. They're
their
saying
own,
you will
yeah.
not treat us like children. We will
Right.
not be tyrannized.
Yeah. So their lives were at stake, but also the families.
Well, that's true.
And all,
It was-
yeah. It's complicated.
All right, are we ready for this complaint? Now, if you're just joining us, I'm reading the Declaration of Independence, and this is they have said, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary to do something this drastic, the least we can do is set down the list of facts that have resulted in our need to take this extreme action. And every time they say he, they're talking about the king, King George. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, excuse me, of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migration hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislature. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. Extreme rendition.
Mm-hmm.
For abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies. I think they're talking about Canada.
Oh.
In a neighboring province. I think they're talking about Canada. For taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government. For suspending our own legislature and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is, at this time, transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun, with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. That's what you were talking about before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That we're all their brothers. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
That's so moving.
Yeah.
The last
Woo!
couple of paragraphs.
I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
That is so moving.
Wow. Well,
I'm so glad you did that.
I am too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm taking a break. Welcome back and welcome to the Independence Day rendition of the Lynn Cullen Show. And I have with me my dear friends Kit Ayers and Joanne Rogers. And we've really sort of stayed on topic, haven't we? We don't usually do this.
No, that's right.
We've been talking about the nation. And we learned that the last amendment to the Constitution was the 27th Amendment, passed in 1991. And we're still astonished that we don't recall this passage. And this was an amendment that made it illegal for the senators and representatives to give themselves a raise while they were in office. There had to be a time period between. Anyway, it just seemed odd that would be in there. Well, Matt went and did his homework, and do you know when this thing was first put in to the legislative hopper? It was first proposed, this amendment, the most recent amendment. It was first proposed in 1789. Yeah. It took more than 200 years to get this one passed. And
people have always been worried about their money.
I was going to say, think about human nature. That over the centuries, even 2 centuries ago, that was an issue. Worrying about people.
Well, that's right.
Paying themselves.
Now, what's interesting is that, so I don't know. So when the last state was finally, the Michigan legislature. No. Well, anyway, the thing is, Maryland was the first state to ratify it in 1789, and a bunch of others did then. North Carolina, South Carolina, Delaware, and then nobody touched it until 1873, like 100 years later. What are you doing?
Let him come in.
I laughed so hard with you guys. The girls, and Pennsylvania is 200 years behind us. It's great. You're having a good time.
We are.
There's no cars out, so everybody's home listening. Oh. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th,
Bill. It looks great.
Thanks. That's Chilly Billy Cardill, who doesn't look. You're ridiculous. I used to think, Joe Negri never aged, but you. He makes Negri look like an old man.
Yeah.
What is with you?
Who's Joe Negri?
You don't even have a wrinkle.
Well, I think
you've been in this business for 50 years.
I'm one of 9 kids, and that's why, my dad had good genes, I guess, because I'm only 17. Both mentally and physically.
Yeah.
So are we.
Okay, well, enough on the 27th Amendment, except, so then the last state to do it was Missouri and Alabama were the last 2. And since then, other states came, after the fact, other states came on board to ratify it after the fact, which is a little weird. But a few states never did, including this one.
This one, yeah.
The Pennsylvania House
got stuck.
Well, hey. You think Harrisburg legislators are gonna pass anything that says you can't give yourself a pay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it says right here, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives approved the amendment. In 1992, but the legislation died in committee in the Pennsylvania Senate.
There you go.
He ain't letting that thing through. It'll put ideas in people's heads.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I bet
to follow
we could revisit that now and make them pass it.
Yes.
Not that it has any.
It's interesting that didn't come up last year with all that brouhaha about the pay raises.
We don't know our history. No. That's what we're finding out. Mm-hmm. We don't know our history in any way.
No, well, between the 3 of us, Lynn and I both think we're not real sure. I'm not real sure that I ever
read the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, I felt when I read it, just the
part
few minutes
I had
ago.
to memorize at school.
Yeah,
I knew that well, but there are lots of these parts that I don't.
You never heard it?
I don't think so.
Okay, we're going to go back to the tests that people who want to become Americans have to take, and we who were born to that station are generally will flunk. Which of the following...
Teacher, I have to go to the bathroom.
You just stay put, Missy. Which of the following is not one of the constitutional requirements to be eligible to become president? Okay, we're looking. Three of them. I'm going to read you 4 things. 3 of them are required of the president.
Oh, okay.
1 is not, if to run for president.
Okay.
To serve. You must be at least 35 years old by the time you serve. Must have lived in the U.S. for at least 14 years. Must be a natural-born citizen of the United States. Must have served as a governor.
35 years.
last one.
The
governor.
lived
Served
as
a governor.
Must have served as a governor.
That's
and what
the
about
one.
the one?
All the others are right.
All the others are
Yeah.
right.
Which one were you making
You
fun
must
of?
have lived in the United States
For 14 years.
14 years.
Because stop and think about it. I mean, back then...
But you have to be born here.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're born on
citizen.
if you're born on
what
American
if
soil,
you
you're automatically a
moved over to
citizen.
England
That's
and
right.
grew up in
Everybody's talking at the same time. Okay, you're born here. And
Yeah.
then your parents take you back to England or to wherever, and you're raised over there. Then you come back.
Yeah, that's okay then.
You're okay.
Yeah.
But if, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you
Yes.
come here, you become a citizen, tough. You weren't born here.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
But if you've never lived here as an adult, I mean, what if you were born here and when you're 2, your parents take you to
China.
wherever?
Yeah.
France.
Okay, fine.
And then you're 40 years old, you decide, I want to be president of the United States.
And
Then
you
you'd
come-
have to wait 14
You
years.
can't come back and do it because you haven't lived here long enough.
You'd
Right.
have to live here for 14 years.
That's the part I didn't know
Okay.
about.
Well, that's all. See what you're learning?
All right. Very good.
Yeah. We like to learn things.
Yes.
How many representatives are there in Congress? 50, 100, 102, or 435? You're not jumping on that?
Math problem.
You want to jump on
Well,
it?
come on, I'm giving you a bunch of numbers.
Oh.
We're talking about the House of
None of them
Representatives.
sound right
Are there
to me.
50?
Oh, I thought it was. Is it the whole Congress?
No,
or just,
I'm talking to the House, not the
just
Senate.
the House. Oh, okay.
50, 100, 102,
No.
435.
Yay.
That's got it.
And then if you add those 100 senators,
Well,
you
that's
get
what I-
535.
That's right. That's right.
Why did the Pilgrims come to America? 1, in search of gold, to meet the Indians.
They do not have these questions as the official questions.
I like that one best of
They
all.
do.
I like that best of all.
Oh, here's
they
one.
came to meet the
Who
Indians.
has the power to declare war? Congress, the President, the Chief Justice, or the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs?
Congress.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows that.
Who said give me liberty or give me death?
Patrick Henry.
That is correct. Well, we pretty much did pretty good on that.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we get to keep our citizenship.
Joanne's sitting in the corner.
With a dunce cap on?
Exactly.
All right. Here's some news for you guys, and we'll be back. Lynn Cullen with her friends Joanne Rogers and Kit Ayers.